We spent 70 years or so worrying about the Turing test, right? We asked, can a machine fool a human into thinking it's alive? And we were asking more questions. We were asking, when do we know the machine's alive? And things like that. But I think those were the wrong questions. The real question was, can can a human become so boring, so predictable, and so optimized that they're indistinguishable from machines? It's January 2026. You're using AI to write an email, you're using AI to reply to your boss. Your boss is using AI to summarize your reports because they don't care about the actual whether or not you did it. You don't care about the emails that are coming to your inbox. Yet two algorithms just having a conversation between you and your boss without you actually talking. You were just the biological, I don't know how to call it, socket they plugged into. You're the biological API. What we're witnessing right now is the death of the internet as a human space. It's now a closed loop of algorithms, of synthetic noise. Welcome to 2026. Welcome to the Dead Inbox. Saudi Cup and welcome to another new episode here for the Funky Pod, Mindful Media and Communication. And there's so many others. I'm also doing an episode in regards to what's gonna happen in 2026. But unlike others, there's not a predictions episode. To quote a wise man, there's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. I'm telling you what's going to happen in the field of AI and communication. How will AI impact communication this year, 2026? Come back in a year from now, tell me I was right. Okay, I have a few things for you. So the first thing that I have for you is what I also call in my upcoming book the zero human feedback loop. Okay, so right now at a typical white collar workplace, you have email is a go-to tool. Let's stick with email for now. Okay, so yeah, you have this email avalanche, emails all day, every day, all the time. Now, in many companies, your goal is to go to inbox zero before you leave the office, right? Or at least before the end of the week. Now, if inbox zero is our goal, and all we do is just try to achieve this inbox zero thing, then is it really still a good goal to have, is the question. Because, as you know, probably Goodhart's law suggests if you have a measurement, and the only goal you have is to reach that measurement, to reach this KPI, then that KPI must not be a good measurement anymore because it replaces the actual work, right? So you're not working to do good work, you're working to achieve that KPI, that measurement. So if we just do everything to achieve inbox zero, why not use AI, right? Why not use AI, or I said in the intro, to write your emails, to summarize emails, to be faster, to optimize it, right? Isn't it smart? Yeah, we're achieving inbox zero much faster. So there are many theories that feed into this, not just Goodhart's law, but we talk about and I have written a few down, like the iron cage of bureaucracy, for example. Weber talked about this a lot, which is very interesting, very old, but check it out. It talks about the rationalization of stripping away all the magic out of life because you optimize everything, right? And that's what we're doing with corporate communication. And private communication, personal communication, probably up next. Yeah, AI has perfected this what Weber calls the iron cage. That we are optimizing for metrics, what I just mentioned, response time, word count, essays, whatever, engagement rate, and so on, that don't longer map reality anymore. We're only going for the measurements, not for what's actually really meaningful in reality. Yeah, this leads me to another concept I discuss a lot and also in classes. We call it the zombie meeting concept. So the absurdity of AI recording a meeting, transcribing it, summarizing it, emailing it, or the summary, to people who use AI to read it. And don't tell me you haven't done it, because I have done it. Yeah, so don't tell me you have never done any of that. We all do it. And it's just to be more efficient, all right? But if you do this all the time, that isn't just efficiency. It's kind of like a ritual. It's a rain dance where no rain falls, but we all do it. We all perform work for an audience. An audience of what? Of who? Essentially an audience of algorithms, right? So we're doing our rain dance for an audience of algorithms who will not appreciate the rain dance. So we're just performing all the time, even though we let AI do everything. That also means, what really are we? Are we still necessary to work, or are we just there to authenticate the email agent? And that leads me to my second spoiler. Why nice now feels fake? I mean, you're talking to ChatGPT and Gemini, hey, this is a great idea all the time, right? So if you see this, like for example, let's say, yeah, you're talking with your intranet bot, yeah, that bot will have like this HR kind of body voice. Yeah, the even emails that you're receiving, it doesn't even need to be like your intranet. Like every voice is like perfectly calibrated in email. It sounds too perfect. Yeah, the I hear you and I validate you kind of thing, right? How we learn that communication should look like. But now it's all artificial and we know it and we feel it. And this leads me to one of my favorite theories, as you know. Yeah, it leads us to hyperreality. Jean Baudrillard talked about this so many times. On this podcast, we mention Jean Baudrillard all the times. Yeah, Baudrillard argued that the map, the simulation, has overtaken the whole territory. So he says the map has overtaken the territory. So we rather look at the map rather than at the territory. Okay? So the simulation of a thing now is more real than the thing itself. That's hyperreality. Taking this to this right now, AI empathy, right? AI empathy is hyperreality. It's way cleaner, way more empathetic than real empathy. There's no baggage, there are no bad days to it, it's always empathetic, and that's exactly why it's so repulsive. Now, what does it lead to though? Because you could say, okay, now if things are too nice, if they are too empathetic, then I know it's AI. Sure. But AI knows that too. Listen to any AI generated podcast right now. 11 Labs, whatever, even Notebook LM from Google. They insert ums and arms and and but to make it sound more real. If you're going into like this uncanny valley here of text, of voice, of AI generated content, the AI if you like me generating using AI to generate content to research, you see that AI even implements typos on purpose at times. Yeah, so vulnerability used to be a sign of trust. As used to be a sign of like, oh, someone's actually thinking. But now, like vulnerability, buts, it's just a style transfer. It's a skin you put on a robot. So even if someone goes but if there's a typo, if there's something, you're not you're not gonna know whether or not it's real or not. And the question here again is, do you actually care? What this will lead to, and here's the big spoiler, what this will lead to is going back in time. If digital communication is free, infinite, and worthless, where where does value go? If it's just bots, AI talking to each other without just, you know, authenticating our agents to talk for us, to communicate for us, to, I don't even know, I was about to say, like, we outsource it to them, but they just outsource authentication to us and then they just communicate. Maybe our AI agents live more than we do because we're only there to do the API handshake. So if this kind of communication actually eventually becomes worthless, where does value go? And there comes the co-signaling theory, okay, that we discuss a lot as well. It tells us that, and for example, in biology, right, a peacock's tail is pretty trustworthy. Why? Because it's expensive slash dangerous. So expensive in the term of like something could happen. You have a very heavy tail, so you can't run away fast, for example. So it's very dangerous to grow to have it. You can't fake it. So it's real. Okay. In 2026, what will be the peacock's tail will be inconvenience. And inconvenience will be what matters. So what I'm telling you is that 2026 society will go back to embracing forcefully real life. Yeah, so the poor, I say this on purpose, the poor will interact with bots all the time because we optimize everything. Hospital, pharmacies, offices, whatever you need. Yeah, bureaucracy will all be done by bots. Now, what else? Doctors, lawyers, customer service, obviously, everything will be done by bots. The rich, the rich will pay for human friction. As a wealthy person, you might be able to see an actual doctor. Yeah, they will fly to meetings just to be there in person. They will have something crazy like device-free dinners. Handshake deals will become a thing again. But the thing is, it's not because we want to, it's not because we understand it is important for human connection, it's because it's the one thing that will set us apart. It's the one thing that we can't fake. The human interaction is going to be a luxury good. It's going to be the one thing that's going to be hard to get. We might return to like a feudal system where only the elite gets to look a person in the eye. Because all the rest of us have to communicate with bots, AI, all the time. So, what do you do? In a world of infinite polish, the only thing that proves that you're really alive is friction. Like your typos, your can be faked, but maybe your bad pacing, your inability to summarize your own life into 3 bullet points. To not have the perfect 2026 prediction LinkedIn article. Because the glitch, arms, buts, and so on, it's not a mistake anymore. But those glitches of yourself are the only things that cannot be auto-completed. So if you stop optimizing and let your glitches that you have shine a little bit more, maybe that's actually where you can be different to anybody else. And that's how people will see your value and will try to connect to you on a human level. Those are the spoilers for 2026, AI and communication. This has been the Funky Pod, Mindful Media and Communication. Let me know what you think. What are your spoilers for 2026? Until then, you know where to find me at FunkyPod on socials. FunkyPod, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. Do the thing. to keep humans on podcasts and not let the AI also, I don't know, get a hold of this. Andy cut.